Now let's work on the file upload handler, and that's going to be the engine that drives this UI. So I'm going to go ahead and create another new file and save this as file upload handler. And this is going to be a class as well. So just as with the UI, there's going to be one file handler object for each file upload. And this is just going to take a UI parameter because it has to talk to the UI to update the progress and status. And it also has to tell the UI who it is so that the UI can deliver messages back to the file upload handler. So for example, if I click on this upload button here, then the UI has to deliver a message to the handler to begin uploading the file. So I'm going to put this code inside of an init method. And I'm going to call the init method as if it were a method. And that will let me access the properties of this inside of my init function. And I'm going to start with my drop handler. So this code here should actually be in the init method of my handler. And in order to make this work, I need to create a handler object. And I'm going to pass in the UI. And then I don't have to call anything just yet because the init's going to get run automatically. I'll clean this up a little bit. So first I'll set the title. And so far this should do everything the same as it did before. Make sure it still works. Nope, I have an error. Oh, I forgot to include my file upload handler. And then I need the file. So I need both the file and the UI. Great. So that's doing the same thing. So let's begin by setting this image. And the way I do that is I need a file reader. So var reader is new file reader. And this is two parts. So the first part is I set reader.onLoadEnd is a function and then I call reader.readAs, and then there's a couple of different things that I can read it as, but I'm going to use data URL, and I think that's all caps, read as data URL, and then I give it the file to read. And then when this is done reading this thing as a data URL, I'm going to get the results in reader.result. So let's call UI.setImage to reader.result. And then in my file upload UI, I want to implement a SetImage method. And it's going to take a source, so it's a data URL, and then image.adder source is going to be the data URL. So let's go ahead and reload that. Okay, and have an error. Oh, no, there it went. It just took a long time because that's a 20 megabyte URL. But there's my thumbnails. Let's go ahead and try that with some smaller ones. So some of these are not images. So like this hour of code, that's not an image. So let's see what we get. So image, 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 not an image. Image, 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 image. Okay. Now let's also update the progress label. So this is waiting for the user to confirm upload. So UI.setProgressLabel. And then here, so we're waiting for confirmation. And then to start, we don't want this close button to be shown. We just want cancel and upload. And we want the upload button before the cancel button. So let's go ahead and in our file upload UI, let's put the cancel button before the upload button. And let's close.hide the close button. Good. That still works. Now, another thing we want to do is this thing, the upload status dialog has a max height. So you get the scroll bar if it's bigger than that. But it doesn't automatically center this. So watch what happens. So when I first create it, it's smaller than it is after I add the stuff to it. And so it starts out centered, but when I drop stuff into it, it gets pushed down. And I really want this thing to always be centered. So every time I add status block to this, I want to recenter it. So I need to let the progress dialog position change every time I get an add status. And to do that, I'm going to set upload dialog, and then I'm going to specify position is my center at center of the window. And I could position the top left at the bottom right of the div tag or whatever. So you have a lot of control over positioning, but basically every time a new thing gets added here, it's going to recenter that box. So it's centered, but now when I drop, it moves up so it's still centered. So let's implement this cancel button. So when the user clicks on cancel, it should remove this status from the progress dialog. So in the file upload UI, this cancel method, it basically wants to tell the file upload handler to stop, and it also wants to remove the status block from the progress dialog. So let's go ahead and implement a cancel method on FileUploadHandler. And I'm not going to do anything with that just yet. And then in my cancel method, this is going to call progress dialog.remove status upload div. So it's going to pass it the same object it added. And then in my progress dialog, I'm also going to basically do the same thing as I did here. I want to recenter it. Except this is going to be status.remove. So it's going to remove the status from the progress dialog and then recenter it. So, and then we'll cancel, 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 cancel. Now we're down to 2, 1, and 0. And then if we add and close. So now let's track the status on the file handler. And I'm going to create a status object off the FileUploadHandler class. So this is a static method, just like I did with the simple drawing app. FileUploadHandler.status is a new object. And here I'm going to list the statuses. So you can be pending approval, which is status 0, or you can be canceled, or you can be uploading, or successfully uploaded, or you can be failed. And then if object.freeze not equal undefined, then object.freeze FileUploadHandler.status. And then when the thing is first created, the status is going to be pending. So we want to track our status. Equal FileUploadHandler.status.pending. And then in the cancel method, FileUploadHandler.status.cancelled. So now we have a cancel method. Let's go ahead and just log file is canceled, and we have to call this. And we want to call it when the canceled button is clicked, which happens in this file upload UI right here. But in order to do that, we have to know this file upload handler inside of the file upload UI. So we're basically going to register the handler by creating a method like so, and then in our file upload handler init, we're going to call UI.setHandler to this. So now the handler is registered with the UI, and the UI can call the handler back. So now when we click the cancel button, in addition to the status going away, we should also see a message in the log. So reload. Oh, I have a syntax error. That should be this.setHandler is equal to function. Okay. So let's drag some files in and cancel, and we get the canceled message. So we're getting our call back. Now, we also want our progress dialog to know about the handlers as well, so that it can find out the status of all of the handlers. And that's important because, go ahead and drop this again. So if one or more pending files are showing, then we want to show the button for upload all or cancel all. And if none of them are pending, then we just want to show the close progress dialog button. So in order to figure out which buttons are being shown here, we need to know the status of all the file handlers. And we also need to know the status of all the file handlers so that when the user clicks on upload all, that all of the handlers get started up. So what I'm going to do is, in the progress dialog, I'm going to have another variable called drop handlers, and this is going to be an empty array. And I'm also going to add a method add handler, and it's going to call drop handlers.push, drop handlers.push handler. So this is going to be a list of all of the handlers. And then I'm also going to add a method update status. And I'm just going to stub this for now. So I need to implement that method. And that one as well. So in my file upload handler, oops, before I do that, so in file upload UI, when this guy gets the handler, he needs to pass it on to the progress dialog. And then the file upload handler needs to provide this dot get name and this dot get status. And then we should be able to call the add status function. So every time we either add a status or remove a status or add a handler, let's call this update status function. And reload. So we have a bunch of ones that are status 0 for pending. And if I cancel that one, so I just canceled poly. And now if I cancel poly 2, you see poly 1 was canceled. And I think the update status is getting called before the status changes. So let's go ahead and change that. So yeah, so let's go ahead and change the order here. So first we'll cancel the handler, and then we'll tell the user interface. Okay, so let's cancel poly 2 and cancel snap 1 and cancel same and cancel, cancel, and cancel. So now they're all canceled. So now we can go ahead and count how many pending ones there are and do the appropriate thing. So let's go ahead and in our progress dialog, in this update status, var pending is equal to 0. And let's also keep track of the number of succeeded. We'll need that later on. And then for each one of these, if handler.getStatus equal FileUploadHandler.status.pending, then pending plus plus, else if I think that's correct, then succeeded plus plus. So at the end of this loop, we should know how many pending there are. And when we create this dialog in the first place, we're going to append all 3 buttons. So first we have to do the close one. These are all float right, and so they stack up. The first one, second one, third one. So we're going to close progress, And then this close progress button, we're going to start out hidden. And then when we get here, if pending greater than 0, then close progress should be hidden, upload status, and oops, sorry, I have the wrong button there. I want upload all, cancel all, and close progress. So that's actually upload dialog dot append first cancel because that's on the outside, then upload, and then close progress. And we can put this all in one statement, but no, leave it that way. And then we also want to attach click handlers. But for now, I'm just going to make these buttons. And then if pending is greater than 0, then update all dot show, cancel all dot show, and close progress dot hide. Else we have no pending files, so we want to show the close button and hide these. Okay, so reload. Now when let's do 3. So when I drag over, can't see it. When I drag over, it says upload all files or cancel all files. And when I drop, I get an error. So upload all, not update all. Did I get it right here? Yeah, got it right there. Okay. And actually, I like the other setting. Hold on. I think that I want to hide the upload and cancel buttons because initially there are no files dragged or dropped. So let's drag this here. So now I'm just showing close progress dialog, and if I drop, that's changed to upload and cancel. And cancel, cancel, and then when I cancel the last one, it changes to close. And when I hit close, it should clear out the upload handlers. So drop handlers is equal to empty. So now if I reload and drop, and then cancel, 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 close, and then reload, I just get 3, cancel, And then I haven't hooked that up yet. I haven't hooked that up. Haven't hooked that up. Cancel. Cancel. Close. So one more. And cancel. Okay, so in the next video, we're actually going to do the upload buttons, and we're going to need Ajax for that.